If you've been keeping up with the latest tech news, then you'd know that in October of 2021, Meta became the new name for Mark Zuckerberg's company. The company owns Facebook, Instagram, and much more. Where is the hub of all this brilliance located? That's what you'll get to see in today's video. Let's get started. If you've watched our previous videos on other tech headquarters, this next fact should come as no surprise. But Meta's headquarters, like many in the industry, are located in California. More specifically, Menlo Park, right in the Bay Area of San Francisco. However, what separates Meta's HQ from its competitors is the fact that it's less of a building and more like a small civilization. How? Meta owns up to 250 acres of land in the area and has built over 30 office buildings there. That's the size of a downtown area for some smaller cities. This was first opened all the way back in 2004 when Meta was still known as Facebook. Although it didn't reach this level of success right away, it would take Zuckerberg years to build his empire and create this immense city-like HQ for Meta that we have today. Much like regular cities, there's public transportation to be found all over the Meta campus. Employees are treated to shuttle buses that take them to and from the local train station. They're also given access to bikes, so those who are a bit more health conscious can go from one building to the next while burning some calories. However, unlike a lot of urban communities, there's plenty of parking available for those who choose to drive. If you've ever worked in a busy area, you're no stranger to how frustrating it can be to find street parking, especially when it's not free. Luckily, the employees at Meta don't have to worry about this at all, and everyone, whether they drive or not, are given plenty of transportation options to choose from. Speaking of employees, just how many work for Meta? Meta's Menlo Park location employs just over 45,000 employees. From product engineering, communications, to even virtual reality advancement, there's so many people who are working together to keep Meta at the top of its game. In fact, an innovative out-of-the-box project that Meta has implemented is something called the Hackathon. During this hackathon, employees will be put on projects that are out of their comfort zone or department and be forced to work together to create something new. This challenges their employees to be ready for anything and to always push their limits. Now, you're probably wondering about the offices. What makes them so special that they need their own little city to operate? Keep watching because Meta's office spaces are like none you've ever seen before. For those who know about the history of Zuckerberg and Facebook, you're aware that he was a college student, actively involved in the hacker subculture of the early 2000s. Well, when designing the aesthetics of their offices, the creative team wanted to keep that in mind. They wanted to make sure that Meta never strayed too far from its roots and stayed true to itself. That's why each office space is hackable. No, not like a computer. Allow us to explain. Meta wanted to make sure that every employee has an opportunity to bring a true sense of self to their workplace, be it through posters, flags, decorations, whatever they need to make sure they feel at home, they can bring in. In fact, so many employees brought in their own games from home that before they knew it, Meta had built its own little arcade right in the offices. Employees were able to take a break from their high-stress jobs and goof off a bit with their friends and co-workers. Talk about something you don't see every day. If you had an opportunity to hack your workspace, what would you do to make it your own? Let us know in the comment section down below. And while you do that, keep watching because what we're about to tell you next is mind-blowing. Menlo Park may be closer to an amusement park than you might think. When designing their campus, Meta wanted to go all out. That's why they hired the same team that helped design Disneyland to help with the layout. If Disney is the #1 happiest place on Earth, then Zuckerberg was committed to making the Menlo Park campus #2. Meta's main street area was designed after the aesthetics of a nearby town, Palo Alto, which was actually the town Zuckerberg originally founded Facebook in. Once again, they're going back to their roots. This street is filled with shops, services, and other unique perks for their employees. You'll never guess what they have. Before we share these amazing perks with you, if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on our upcoming tours such as Microsoft and Samsung. And if you haven't already, make sure you check out the tours on the Amazon headquarters, Apple Park, or the Googleplex. They might just give Meta a run for their money. Need a haircut in between meetings? No problem. Meta's main street has a barbershop. Then you can grab a coffee with some co-workers while you go over plans for your next big project. And if you're in the mood for some after-work fun, you can stop by Soul, a Mexican restaurant that was built right on the campus for the employees. You could practically live at work, and if you worked at Meta, that may not sound like too bad of an idea. Of course, as you may already know, working in tech can get a bit repetitive. Staying inside, staring at a computer screen is not exactly ideal for your mental or physical health. Meta took this into consideration when creating their campus. That is why there is a rooftop park available for all the staff to use. This park takes up a massive 12.6 acres and gives employees access to a mile-long trail that they can jog or walk on. To make it even better, the trail leads through greenery and plenty of nature to enjoy as you go on your run. There's actually 150,000 plants in the park's garden. That must have taken quite some time to complete. And for those out there that are environmentally conscious, you'll love this next detail. This park is home to solar panels that generate up to 2 million kilowatts of energy a year. According to Meta, that's enough energy to power over 70,000 homes for a single day. That's absolutely incredible. But maybe not as incredible as this next fact. Did you know what the first sticker available to use on Facebook Messenger was? If you guessed Fox, you would be correct. What does this have to do with Meta's campus? Well, to stick with their time-honored tradition of staying to their roots and to help preserve the local environment, Meta has allowed wild foxes to roam their campus. There's so many of them, in fact, that Meta had to put up signs that state, "We're cute, famous, and wild," to remind staff that these animals may not be as cute and cuddly as they first appear. It's advised that humans keep their distance from these foxes, but feel free to admire from afar because they are truly a sight to be seen. How would you feel about your workplace having wild animals roaming around? Let us know down below. Let's get to everyone's favorite part of the workday, lunch. While there are several food options available for employees to purchase in Meta's main street, the company still does offer cafeteria food to those who want it. But this cafeteria food isn't quite like the stuff you had in school. All the ingredients are of the highest quality and locally sourced. Just another way that Meta gives back to the surrounding community. One of the things Meta prides themselves on during the lunch hours is how they offer meals from all around the globe, giving staff a chance to experience cuisine from a variety of different cultures. That way, you're not only being exposed to new and exciting foods, but you'll never get bored with what the cafeteria has to offer as the menu is constantly changing. Not only does the food change, but the overhead music during lunch is always kept in theme with the culture of the day. For example, you can expect to hear mariachi bands if the food is Mexican, or traditional Nigerian music if they serve jollof rice. Just another way to make lunchtime fun and create a sense of cultural appreciation in the workplace. If you thought that was interesting, just wait till you hear this. So Meta has stores, restaurants, barbershops, a park. What more could you possibly need in a workplace? What if we told you that they also have an on-campus dry cleaner? Purple Tide Dry Cleaning offers employees a full-service dry cleaning experience, just feet away from their desks. Imagine if you spilled coffee on your suit hours before an important meeting. Wouldn't having this service so close to work be a total lifesaver? The best part? It's all eco-friendly, which is no surprise seeing as how dedicated Meta is to the environment and trying their best to reduce their carbon footprint. Oh, and did we mention it's completely free? That's right, employees are allowed to drop off and pick up their dry cleaning at no charge. Talk about a perk. Dry cleaning at work is definitely unheard of, but is it as unheard of as this next feature at Meta? You be the judge of that. Socialization at work is incredibly important. You need to be able to build a bond with your team and develop a sense of community among your fellow workers. It's no surprise that Meta has taken this into account when designing their campus. That's why employees are treated to The Bowl. The Bowl is an outdoor area designed specifically for socializing. And seeing as how California is known for its great weather, we're sure this feature gets used quite often. But the coolest part is that in the center of each outdoor table is a built-in gas fireplace which you can turn on and off with ease. That must come in handy for those chilly late-night work events. We've never heard of an office space that you can roast marshmallows at, but it only makes sense that Meta would take the lead on such a fun and creative idea like this. Zuckerberg has been at the forefront of innovation for years, and it just shows more and more with each new addition to the Meta Menlo Park campus. The innovation is especially put on display with what we're about to show you next. It's no secret that Meta appreciates culture and wants their employees to develop that same sense of appreciation themselves. That's why these headquarters actually double as an art museum. Meta has an in-house artist-in-residence program that is headed by Tina Vaz, who is a Guggenheim alumni. Throughout the buildings, you can find 15 art installations placed there by Vaz herself. One of the installations was completed by an artist named Elias Syme, who created a piece composed entirely of recycled computer parts. Syme had spent time in California's famous redwood forests and created the piece after that, noting how all the trees were seemingly connected by a network of underground routes. As you can see, an art piece about networking made of computer parts is incredibly fitting for a company like Meta, who some argue founded the very first social networking site with Facebook. If you're ever given the chance to check out Menlo Park, try and catch all 15 installations if you can. It will definitely be worth it. And that's all for today's video. We hope you enjoyed this tour of Meta's HQ and learned something new about the social media conglomerate. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any new videos. As always, see you next time and thanks for watching.